you want to know my opinion on what I think, just keep on watching. Hey guys, what's good? It's your girl Nisi here and I'm back with another video, and in today's video I'm going to be talking about this viral clip that's gone viral from Pop the Balloon. If you don't know about Pop the Balloon, it's a dating show. I'll put the picture there. It's on YouTube and now they've got like a little spin-off that's on Netflix, but the one on YouTube is the raw cut. People are gonna clap back and cuss each other out. It's mainly black people or people of color, and the one on Netflix is quite mixed, or it's more like Caucasian. But I will be speaking on the colorism that does happen on the Pop the Balloon show, and this beautiful dark skinned woman that popped the balloon because this light skinned man, she thought he wouldn't be interested. And when he pulled up, because the host, when you pop the balloon, the host does ask you, why did you pop? Are you not attracted to this person? So she was just like, she doesn't see, you know what I mean? And then, vice versa, the host asks the man, oh, like, was she your type? And he's like, absolutely. Like, I love her melanin skin. I love her hair. I love her eyes. And I was just like, so when the show first started, once you popped your balloon, that is it. Like, you're out of the race. And then the host asked her, do you want your balloon back? And she's like, yeah, like, you're not going to compliment me and say all this and think I'm not going to go on a date. You know what I mean? So I'm going to roll the clip and I will be back with my commentary.
My name's Anita. I'm 37. Um, I was trying to hear him out. I know you said you've been on the show before, and I don't know that I felt like a red flag, but I don't think there's like an attraction between us.
Okay. Okay.
No, she's someone that's your type?
Yeah. She's my type. Definitely, I like her skin tone. I like dark skinned women. She's beautiful. You know what I mean? And I like the
didn't
fact
think-
that you got braids. Like
It's a mohawk.
you embracing your yeah.
Oh, I'm shocked, and I didn't think you were attracted.
Why are you shocked?
I don't know. I didn't think I was his type.
Why should we think that? But
Yeah, nah, you very beautiful. I like your skin tone again, and you got gorgeous almond eyes, and yeah.
Okay.
so are you still leaving your balloon on pop? Is he someone that is your type?
He's attractive. I just didn't think I was his type.
Why are you eliminating yourself? You want the balloon back?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's get that balloon back.
Okay, guys, so you just saw that. For me, it was given she shot herself in the foot. Like, obviously, she popped a balloon. The host was like, "Why?" And she's just like, "Well, first there's a red flag because he's been on the show before." And it's like, just because he's on again doesn't mean It just means he didn't find the one. That's why people date until you find someone that's more your match. So that was BS about, oh, he's been on the show before, so that's a red flag. This is what I mean. This is why there's so many people that are single, because you're proper like nitpicking. Every little thing's a red flag. If someone breathes too hard, it's a red flag. If someone looks at someone else or compliments another woman, it's a red flag. It's like, can you lot be serious? And then obviously she was just like, the attraction's not there, which was a lie, because then when the host was like, would you like your balloon back? She was like, yes. And then finally they actually ended up going on a date together. So fingers crossed. I hope everything works out. But guys, did you hear how he was complimenting her? He was like, your skin, I love how melanated you are. I love the dress. I love your almond shaped eyes. Like, guys, like, even the other girls were like, oh my gosh, like, this is bae. Like, the guys proper looking you up and down. And when a guy can read you like that, it's just like, oh my gosh. What I hated is when he complimented her on her braids and she was like, it's a mohawk. I'm like, this is what they say about black women. Like, sometimes just be quiet. They say black women were not submissive, compared to like the Hispanics, the Asian girls, the white girls. There is some truth to that, because when I look at my aunties, they're very, I want to say masculine, but they're very strong. Like, black women are strong. It is what it is. That's how we are. But trust me, a man does want you to be, you know, like, yes, like, you take the lead, you know what I mean? So again, he gave her a compliment and she's like, it's not just braid, it's a mohawk. And it's just like, just let the man compliment you and just be like, just say thank you. That's what annoyed me with this clip. But people were like, oh, It's not colorism. She's just got no confidence. She's got low self esteem. Two things can be true at once. So she probably does, but she only probably does have low self esteem or confidence because of like past relationships or past dating experiences. I do think she's confident. She's beautiful, first of all. But yeah, obviously people are reacting. A lot of dark skinned girls have come out and say, listen, she's not like there's no low self esteem. She's just learnt from past, guys or past mistakes. And if you know anything about the world that we live in, the great Malcolm X, rest in peace to him, he said it, the most like undesirable woman is a black woman, or just the most hated woman in the world is a black woman, especially being dark skinned, you know what I mean? So there is a lot of dark skinned women that feel some type of way. Not in my family. When I'm thinking about my mum's sisters, all the dark skinned women in my mum's family are really confident. You know what I mean? But we are Jamaicans, and obviously in the Jamaican culture, bleaching is a big thing. You know what I mean? And they are obsessed with like lighter skinned people. Like even when I go out to Jamaica, the people that are on posters on the TV, working in the bank or at the desk are lighter skinned people, and maybe people with like hazel eyes and stuff. But yeah, let's get into some people's reactions.
There is a Pop the Balloon episode going around where this light skinned man compliments a dark skinned woman. She's about my complexion. This woman is so beautiful, and every compliment she gets, you can tell how like surprised and uncomfortable she is by the compliment. And I feel like it was me in that situation. Growing up, hearing so much about my skin definitely lowered my self-confidence for a very, very long time. It did not help that I went to a school with majority white kids. And it definitely did not help that my grandmother had instructed all of her kids to marry light or white because of the oppression that was happening to dark skinned people at that time. Now, my mom did not listen to my grandmother. I don't think it's more so she was trying to disobey, but she fell in love with my dad, who is a very dark skinned man. So, because my grandmother's other kids did listen, a lot of my cousins are light skinned. And trust me, I heard it from them too. And then on top of that, my parents did not want me to be too fast. So a lot of my grooming habits I did not develop until later in adult years. And I just wasn't keeping up with trends and styles like most people would. So I just wasn't eligible to most people. Even to this day, when I get compliments, I still feel funny. Like when I went viral on my Wealthy Adjacent series, that first video in the series was explaining how I did not really have a good command on what I looked like. And that coupled with a lot of other factors like me being dark skinned, me being black, I was passed up by a lot of people. Cue the compliments in the comments. And when I say it was so hard to read all of them, even though I am married, even though now I do get hit on a lot, like I can go into the Delta Lounge and men will come up to me and offer me things and whatever, like things have changed, but it's still so hard for me to accept that someone would find me beautiful. Very hard. They ended up matching and leaving together. I hope he does her right, and I hope that eventually she learns to feel comfortable in the skin that she's in, because I understand how long it can take.
Ooh, shout out to that woman. She touched on so many topics. Gosh, where do I start? So first of all, when she touched on her gran, that's very disturbing, and I'm glad her mother didn't listen to her grandmother. Like she said, the other siblings listened because all her cousins are like light skinned or biracial. But as you can see, that woman's very melanated, so that means obviously, well, not obviously, because sometimes you can have like a light skinned dad, but you still come out dark skinned. But she said her dad is very, melanated, very dark. Her mom didn't listen. Her mom just went for who she loved. You know what I mean? But yeah, when she spoke on like the woman on the show, like when the man was complimenting her, she was just like, wow, like she was very shocked, taken back, but nodding and happy. You can tell, you know what I mean. She was getting happy. Um, yeah, like she knew how she felt. Same here. Like I've had compliments when people are like, oh, you've got nice eyes, or you've got nice skin or good teeth, or you know what I mean. When you're not used to it, I'm sure the pretty girls. I've done a video on like being ugly or being considered ugly in 2025. If you've not seen it, do check it out. But I know like pretty, privileged, or being light skinned, they get compliments all the time. So it's just like, oh, especially if you got like the hazel eyes, it's just like, oh. So even me, when I compliment someone on their eye color, I say it as like, you probably hear this all the time, but I'm like, you've got really nice eyes. And I'm not just saying it just because it's hazel, because not everyone with hazel eyes is, you know what I mean? It is about the shape of your eyes, the color, you know what I mean? And obviously your whole face structure. But yeah, I know how she feels. Like, again, sometimes when I get compliments of people, I'm just like, oh, because you just, especially when it's a certain type of someone, you just didn't expect it. It's like, oh. And I know colorism is a lot, well, colorism and racism is a lot in America, but even over here in the UK, like, because I'm back in the dating scene, I am seeing someone who is biracial. He's literally mixed with everything, black, white, Asian, you know what I mean? So obviously, we've been talking. When I'm dating or when I'm like, tapping in, I do like to know who they've dated in the past so I know what I'm dealing with. And he says, yeah, he likes dark skinned girls. I was like, okay, that's very refreshing. He's not from my city, he's from somewhere else, but I know up north where I live, the biracials tend to go for white girls. So when I did start talking to him, I was quite shocked. I was like, so what do you like about me? You know what I mean? You do need to talk and find out. I've had back in the past, I did start speaking to an African guy. He's from Sierra Leone. He had two kids, two baby mamas. His kids were light skinned, so I wasn't sure if they were light skinned or biracial. They were biracial, so obviously his baby mothers are white, and now he was speaking to me. So I asked him, like, why are you talking to me? You know what I mean? You obviously have a type or preference. But it's a shame. I couldn't go there because I just feel like, I don't know. There's something when a guy's been with a white woman and you've obviously procreated with them. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. Vice versa. If I had kids to a white guy and then all of a sudden I want to be with a black guy, it's like, huh? Like, for me, I just find it a big jump. It's annoying because we did get along really well. We were into the same thing, but I just couldn't get past. You know what I mean? It's like you ain't going pro. Gosh, I can't even say the word procreate with white women and then try and run back to the black community. You know what I mean? Like, we're not doing that. But yeah, it's a shame. But yeah, when you are dating, especially being dark skinned and a black woman, because sometimes as well, if you date outside your race, it could be just a fetish. You know what I mean? If you're dating a white guy, he might just obviously, your skin, your hair, just some weird fetish. Like, again, being in a dating scene, I get like weird messages and it's just like, what? And you know what I hate? When you're dark skinned and they think you're that typical stereotype. So they're like, oh, do you do this? Do you do that? And it's like, no, just because I'm black and dazzling doesn't mean I do that. So yeah, but yeah, I agree with a lot of stuff that woman said. And I love how she said, even now, like one video she was in, she went viral. And then just all the beautiful comments she got. And even though she's married, like, it's society. Listen, you can have kids, be married, have a husband that loves on you, but it's society, it's the world that we live in. The world doesn't rate dark skinned black women. Like, it's a shame. And just because the world that we live in is like that doesn't mean we have low self esteem or confidence. It just means we're always got our guard up, we're always fighting, like, you know what I mean? We're fighting oppression. And the saddest thing with colorism, it's in our own like community. I know Asians, Asians bleach and they have their own issues, but for black people, colorism, it's deep rooted. Obviously, it goes back to slavery. The light skins would be in the house while the dark skins would be in the field. But it's just a lot. But I agree with what that woman said, and I'm glad what she touched on, and I just wish her all the best.
I know we've seen the video of the dark skinned girl on the pop of the balloon where she popped her own balloon because she thought the guy did not like her. And I've seen people talking about some, oh, that's that insecurity or whatever. I don't really think it's insecurity. Like, if you are mindful and actually have a brain in the black community, whether you're light or brown skin, you see how people treat dark skinned people. Do not come to me trying to gaslight us, telling us, oh, well, you just have to be confident. I am extremely confident, but I am aware that there are a lot of self-hating people in our community. And for her as a dark-skinned woman to even go on a show like that proves that she has some type of confidence. She's just probably nervous and don't want to be disrespected because, let's be honest, on these pop the balloons, men have been very disrespectful, men and women, to be honest. I don't like some of the women responses and I don't like some of the men responses. Very rude for no reason. So we have to keep it real. A lot of
dark-skinned girls growing up went through guys coming to them like, oh, I will never date you, you mad black, you mad ugly, you dark, I don't like dark skin bitch. We have songs, we have music, we have movies, we have sitcoms, we have almost so much things that push that narrative and her own personal experiences. So I don't think she's insecure. Never thought she was insecure. I just think she was just like, I'm not going to waste my time. And I don't want to be, disrespected or a butt of anybody's joke. So I'm just going to remove myself. And I'm glad he reassured her. I'm glad he spoke very highly of her features, her skin, her almond eyes. I just felt like it was very nice. And I'm glad that they both picked each other.
I agree with what she said. Like at the beginning when this show first started, it was really good, but now it's just become like a running joke, and I feel like people just go on there just to take shots and to stunt. Like she said, it's disrespectful on both sides, but more time, like most of the clips that have gone viral, it's been men coming for the women, especially black women, especially dark skinned women, women with multiple baby fathers or women with kids, shaming them for their age, like, oh, you're in your 40s and you're on, you know what I mean? So the show is a running joke now, but when it did first start, it was good and it was refreshing. Obviously, again, Netflix, they've got their little spin-off, so they're still doing well. She's got 1 million plus subscribers, so you know what I mean? But I definitely agree with what she said. I do feel like she was nervous. And being a dark-skinned woman myself, you can tell when a guy's into you or when he's just being a bit funny, you know what I mean? So that's why I feel like she popped. She's like, let me shut this down from now because he's probably gonna like maybe the girl next to me because she's lighter. So I definitely do get it. But yeah, like sometimes, especially because like she was a curvy woman, and in a lot of sitcoms, especially in like a black films and stuff, it's always the loud, dark skinned, plus size woman that's the butt of every joke. So I definitely agree when she said, you know what I mean? Like, you're not coming on here to take the mick out of me, take the piss out of me. Like, even like Kevin Samuels, rest in peace to him. When the women would come on there to be overweight or dark skinned, he used to go in more on them than, like, say, a lighter woman. You know what I mean? So we're always just getting attacked. And one thing about being dark skinned, yeah, and this whole colorism, I feel like colorism is worse than racism because you're getting attacked by your own people. Sometimes it's even your own family members. At least with racism, you can stay away from that group of people. But when it's your own people, it's like, you know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? Colorism's been here. It's always going to be here. Like I said, it's in Africa, it's in the Caribbean, it's obviously in the UK, like it's everywhere. And it does make me really sad. Like growing up, I was the dark skinned friend, you know what I mean? Again, I touched on this in the ugly video that I did. I'll put pictures, but this is how we looked back in the day. And this is a more recent picture how we look. But as you can see, my friends, they're all light skinned. One's biracial, two's multiracial, and the other one's black, but she's just light skinned. So, and then obviously I'm just you know what I mean, the dark skinned one. So growing up, it was hard for me. But guess what? The ones that were the hardest on me were darker than me, and they were obviously boys. You know what I mean? There was one African girl we used to chill with. She was skinny, very dark, like very melanated, like the woman from the clip. And she used to get it. She used to get it because she was so dark, and she used to get it because she was African. Again, these guys, we chilled with them. They live around the way. They're supposed to be our friends, but they were the ones throwing abuse and verbal stuff and just, you know what I mean? Our just hurting us basically. I'm just trying to find the right word. But that beautiful African girl, she's gone on and had kids. She's got two black boys and she's had a biracial daughter. So you see what I mean? She was with a black guy, but he was lighter skinned, but that didn't work out. And now she got herself a white guy. Like sometimes that's how it goes. Me, I've had kids with a very melanated man who's African. Do you know what I mean? For me, dark skin is my type, but at the same time, I do love whoever loves me. So you know what I mean? But yeah, it just saddens me that we do it to ourselves and our own people. It's really sad.
So I've been seeing this balloon pop video circling across social media, and let's be clear, I do not watch no kind of balloon pop show because I enjoy having functioning brain cells. I digress. I did see this video though because it was a clip of a beautiful dark-skinned black woman. Ooh, she bad. And she had popped the balloon on the male contestant because she figured that she wasn't his type. Well, come to find out, she was his type. And the comments in the video are full of people being like, this is just so sad. She should love herself more. She sounds so insecure. She should be more confident in herself. I'm here to let y'all know. To me, this is not an issue of lack of self-confidence. This is an issue of systemic oppression, colorism, okay? This idea that a dark-skinned woman who assumed that he wouldn't be into her, you can't liken that to insecurity or lack of self-confidence. Liken it to the fact that she probably has had a pattern in her life experience of experiencing that. And she is just responding to the pattern she's been used to. Y'all starting to irk me when y'all minimize issues like colorism or fat phobia down to, oh, just love yourself more, be more confident. You are negating the severity of these systems of oppression. There is no way you can be as confident as you want to be as a dark-skinned black woman. You cannot out-confident someone else's implicit biases toward darker skin. You cannot out-confident somebody else being a colorist. Your confidence isn't going to magically make them value your dark skin properly. That's not how this works. And that's the same thing for fatter bodies. You can be as confident as you want to be as a fat woman. You cannot out-confident somebody's internalized fat phobic views towards fat people. No amount of me loving my body, loving the skin I'm in, is going to make somebody who thinks fatness is nasty and ugly see it as beautiful. Can we please be for real? And on top of that, I don't know why y'all do this, but whenever it comes to women who are darker skinned or who are plus size, y'all expect for us to have ironclad confidence. Confidence y'all don't even have in yourselves. Let's wake that up. Y'all be wanting us to be confident and have the confidence that is unshakable and permeable to the destructive and harmful ways of our society. We be facing shit that y'all don't never face, and y'all be the main ones telling us to love ourselves more. Do you possess the level of confidence you want for us to have? I doubt it. I doubt it. Because the minute a man rejects you, suddenly he has to be gay. Suddenly you're deflecting and rejecting and all that stuff. But you want for us to not be fazed by the same thing? It don't be given when y'all say that. Like, a dark-skinned black woman can be confident in herself and still believe she isn't everyone's type because of what her experiences are as a dark-skinned black woman. Those two things can coexist. I need for y'all to have the nuance to understand the difference between those two things. That's all I gotta say. Cause y'all, girl, sis, get behind me because they get on my nerves, for real, for real.
No, shout out to sis. She spoke on so much. Not her from his shots. Like, I don't even watch this balloon show because I don't want to lose brain cells. Ooh. But yeah, again, she's just giving her 2 cents because it did go viral. But yo, I agree with what she said. I feel like I'm a confident person, but again, I know the world that we live in. You know what I mean? I know how black women are seen, especially if you are dark skinned. You know what I mean? That whole stereotype. Obviously, colorism, racism. I'm obviously not fat, but for people that are more plus size, you know, being fat phobic. Let's use Lizzo. Personally, I feel like Lizzo is a confident woman, but as we've seen her today, she has slimmed down. That could have been, you know, a personal choice. It could have been, you know, her getting dragged and people taking a mick out of her. Who knows? But I definitely agree with what she said. You could have the most highest confidence in this world, but once you live in a certain world and people just keep breaking you down, eventually it's gonna get to you. It's like if you've got a big nose and people see you like, rah, you're so pretty, but you got a big nose, or you know what I mean? That's always gonna be your insecurity. You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. But I definitely agree with her. Again, a fat person could have the most confidence, but they know the world that they live in or the industry don't mess with big people or fat people. You know what I mean? I don't know. Like, I can't even explain it. Same with bleaching. Like, obviously, people have asked me, have you ever thought about it and stuff? And it's like, not really. But I feel like that's because of the family that I've come from. My mum's confident. My older sisters are confident. So I've not always been confident, but it's as I've got older, and then obviously then I had a daughter, so you know what I mean. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. It's with confidence. You've either got it or you've not. You know what I mean? It's one of those. It's hard to explain. But yeah, I'm happy with myself. Like even on here, you know what I mean. Shout out to y'all. You give me really nice like compliments, and it does help my day. And you know what I mean. Especially because I've been feeling down. It's been a tough year. But yeah, I agree with everything she said. Like it doesn't matter. You know what I mean. Stop blaming this on insecurity. It is what it is. It's colorism, and it's probably past experience the reason why she popped a balloon. And I just wanted to mention, even though like my partner, my baby daddy, whatever, is dark skinned. So basically, I have 4 kids. I've got two, I guess, lighter ones and two darker ones. 3 boys, 1 daughter. My daughter, she's lighter, and I'm grateful that she is lighter because again, like Malcolm X said, the most disrespected woman in the world is a dark skinned woman. I was a bit scared when I found out I was having a girl because I was trying to be a boy's mom. You know what I mean? The hardship and the heartbreak and the heartache that us women go through, and just you know the world. It's a man's world, like. So I didn't want a girl, but obviously God blessed me with a girl. But I did hope that she would come out light and not as dark as her dad, and she didn't. Thank God, because yeah, this society is just not good to dark skinned women. Like the darker you are, the worse. You know what I mean? The worst of the world is on you. But yeah, sadly, my cousin, she said to me, she's like, I guess 1 shade darker than me. She said to me she doesn't want to have a daughter because of the world that we live in. Like, you know what I mean? She doesn't mind obviously having a black partner, but she doesn't want a daughter because again the heartache and just the stress that we go through as dark skinned women. She doesn't want that. And even my niece, she's darker than me. I'll put a picture of us. And it's funny because she was just like, so basically, I was meant to do a trip with my friends, the two light ones that I showed you my picture before, to America. So we were meant to go to New York and go to Miami. Now, one thing I know about Miami, they're very colorist slash racist there. It's like Miami and LA, they're like the two states that colorism is very, you know what I mean? So obviously, me rolling with them, there's certain clubs and restaurants I can't get in because I'm dark skinned, but they'll be like, yeah, yeah, you can go in, but they'll be like to me, they'll be like, stop, you can't, you know what I mean? Which is crazy. But she said, well, you're quite light because like look at me to you. Now with that, the thing with black people, what I love, we all come in different shades. So with me, my complexion does change. So in hotter climates, I've got yellow undertones, so then I come off more brown, like a browning, and then in the winter I'm obviously quite dark. But yeah, like even that, just not being allowed into certain establishments, it's just horrible. And it's annoying because even in my family, my nephews, they've got the same mom and dad. One's light skin, one's dark skin. Like it is what it is. Genetics is mad. But again, even my kids, same mom and dad. I've got 2 kids that are light and I've got 2 kids that are dark. Like, who knows? But yeah, I agree with everything she said in her clip.
I feel like the people that are mad or trying to say that the young lady who was on a Pop the Balloon show who decided to pop her balloon because she did not think the men will be attracted to her, I think the people that are calling her insecure are ones that are ignoring the fact that colorism exists. Colorism is a big thing, and it also influenced her reasoning to take herself out the equation. Because one thing I do not like is coming up in a space and I'm shot down because of the way I look or the way that I present myself. I feel like that's very nasty and very mean, and especially being shot down because of your skin color, which we see is done on a day-to-day basis. Colorism is a big thing. Men do it to darker skin women do it to darker skin men, and dark skinned people honestly get the short end of the stick on a lot, a lot. And I hate that that is a thing. And I feel like she did the respectful thing. But I love that she still had a happy ending just because she assessed the situation wrong. But her feelings are very valid, and the way she assessed the situation is very valid as well.
I agree with her 100%. The people who are like, oh, she needs more confidence, she needs to do better, self esteem, y'all are acting like colorism isn't real. You're acting like she's not had like maybe terrible past experiences, and like that woman said, when it's like a lot of light skins put down black people, you know what I mean? And then obviously sometimes dark skins do stuff to light skins and they try and say, oh, it's reverse colorism. No, there's no such thing as reverse colorism. That's something else. It could be jealousy, it could be hateration, but it's definitely no such thing as reverse colorism. Um, yeah, I agree with what she said. And in this next clip, this is gonna be proof that light skins they just be saying and doing the maddest thing, and it's just like, huh? And it's reasons like this why that woman popped a balloon, because she's like, you ain't gonna do this to me.
Your name.
Good. But the dark skin, I'm a light skinned guy, so I like light skinned people.
I've been outside a lot, so I'm usually lighter, but I wanted to get in touch with my melanin, so
Okay. Hey, you're doing a good job. Doing a good job, baby girl.
toasting. Yeah, thank you.
Guys, what did we just see? Like, what the actual AF was that? How can he say, oh, I'm a light skinned man and I only date light skin? Like, huh? And I know a lot of the Creoles were like that. Like, but I get it. They just wanted to keep their lineage like pure. They just wanted to go out with another Creole. Da, 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 da. Like Beyonce's mom, she was advised by her mom to find a Creole man, and obviously she didn't. She found, a Negro. But that's mad. And her response is even madder. Like, what do you mean? I'm usually lighter, but I've been tanning, and not him gassing her up like, yeah, you're definitely melanated. And I'm just like, and then the presenter's just in the middle, like, wait, what's going on here? Like, what? That's just like me saying, oh, usually in the summertime I'm lighter, then in the wintertime I'm dark, and it's just like, listen, if you're black, you're black. Like, it is what it is. Like, and this is what I'm saying. Colorism is worse than racism because it'll be your own people. Like, what the actual AF? And there's nothing wrong with him wanting to date another light skin, but don't date another light skin just because she's light skin. Like, what's her personality like? What's her values? You know what I mean? What does she believe in? Not just because she's pretty and she's light skin. Like, huh? And you know what? It'll always be those people that get together and then they have kids who are obviously going to be light skin, and then they teach them, yo, you're better than that person because you're light skin, and then that's how it continues. Now, in this next clip, I don't even know what to call this one. I guess this is dark skin hating on dark skin and African hating on African. There's this African woman who's East and West African, and she's on the the Balloon show, and she says she doesn't like this guy because he's African. Like, his features are too African. Like, I can't even get the words out because when I watched it, I lost brain cells. I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, huh?
Okay, why?
Too African.
All right, now, is he your type?
No.
Okay, why not?
May I ask where you're from?
Yeah, go ahead. I'm from South Sudan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I'm African, but honestly, I like Americanized African men. He's just a little too African. Not in an insulting way, honestly.
I'm not, if you know me. You'd be surprised.
That's acceptable.
Not at all.
So, what made you say he's too African?
I think the strong facial features, yeah.
Okay. Okay, and which part of Africa are you from?
I'm half Kenyan, half Ghanaian, so I'm like East and West.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
No problem.
Okay.
Again, here we go again. We're doing it to ourselves. How can she say, I want a more of a African American, I don't want African? Which is fine. Again, that's her choice, her preference. But the way she shut him down, like, oh yeah, it's because of your African feet. Like, you're too African. Like, what does that even mean? If you're African, you're African. If you're Jamaican, you're Jamaican. Like, what do you mean you're too African? Like, what? And again, she's just as dark as him. She's just, well, I would say she's even more African than him because she's two types of African. She's Kenyan and Ghanaian. Like, what? And even the presenter, the host, she was so confused. That's why she had to like, so where are you from? And she's like, I'm East and West African. I'm like, wow, I bet your parents are proud because my mind was blown, and I'm glad that people kept it real in the comments. People were dragging her in the comments of that clip of that video because what the actual fuck? I was just like, the self hate is real. Like, there's nothing wrong, you know what I mean? People get preferences, and being xenophobic or being a colorist twisted. Like, what she said was just dead ass wrong. All she had to say is, I don't know, but you can't say I don't like you because you're too African. Like, that is like, even though you're African yourself, it's giving self hate because how can you be African and you know what I mean? Like, you say that to him, like.
that lady popping her own balloon on that Pop the Balloon show reminds me so much of a dating experience that I had when I was living in California for a little while. Now, her pop, and I second every other creator when they say like her popping her balloon was not a manifestation of her insecurity, but her being realistic about her dating experience and her just being real. I too have been dark skinned my whole life. And when I had moved to California for a little while for like a job, of course I was like dating and whatnot. And so I went on a date with this guy, and I should have known that it was gonna be something when he kept harping about me being from the South. I'm from Tennessee. And so he kept on just kind of like Southern women, they know how to do, they know how to, just being weird, like Southern women know how to cook. So Southern women know how to take care of a man. And as soon as he said take care of a man, I was like, cause I don't play that. I don't play that at all. Like taking care of a man is very fucking crazy. And if you really know about Southern culture, then men are typically the ones who, take care of their household. I don't know what the fuck he meant by take care, but I was just kind of like, I'm not familiar with his lingo, so maybe I'm missing the point. But anyway, long story short, we get on a date. We was talking and stuff before then. I was getting little weird vibes, but I was like, I'm new here. Let me just try it out. Go on a date, y'all. This man sits before me and literally says, you the first dark-skinned woman I ever dated. Y'all, I started like blinking uncontrollably. Like I couldn't even control like how I was fucking blinking. And I just could not believe that he said that shit. And the reason why the pop the balloon thing made me think about this is because this man was light-skinned. Typically not my preference, but I was like, I'm dating, just get to know him and figure it out. Like it was a cool little vibe at first. So, just go with the flow. And that's what I was doing. But after he said that, I was like, okay, it all makes sense now. It all makes sense now. Like this man is like, it's clear that I'm not his preference, which is fine because I have my own preferences too. But it was clear that he just thought he was finna get some motherfucking greens and cornbread out of me. And that as the conversation kind of led, it was clear that he thought, number one, that me being Southern was me being dumb. And then two, because I'm dark-skinned, I'm supposed to feel happy that I'm his first dark-skinned girl that he ever dated. How that work? And the reason that the pop the balloon thing made me think about that is because I ain't never been insecure I have had insecurities in my life, but I ain't never been insecure about being dark skinned, and I ain't never felt insecure about my appearance. Like being dark skinned ain't never been a problem for me. I remember growing up and people would like make fun of that and talk about that and whatnot. And I would always just kind of be like, ain't we all black? And this was thoughts I was having at 6 years old. I'm like, ain't we all black? Like, I'm confused as to why you think my skin is a problem. I was not ever raised to not like nobody for being light skinned or too dark skinned. Like that was never instilled in me. So it was truly a surprise when people thought that my skin color was a problem. Now, I've always been known that it has been a problem for other races, but when it was happening to me in my own community, I was like, what the fuck? Like, we ain't supposed to be doing this. So when you're in places where a certain standard is the standard, which is not a problem for me, like, for example, California and Miami, there are certain types of preferences that a lot of men prefer. And I'm okay with not being that because there's also implicit bias and other like background things that are going on for them when they see women of certain complexions and women with certain hair types and textures and bodies. There's other things going on aside from what they are looking at with the appearance and how a woman's appearance can do something for them, if you following what I'm saying. So I second every creator when they say like it ain't about being insecure. It's about being realistic about your dating experience. I have known that I am not certain people's preference, and that don't bother me because broke not my preference. I'm not gonna put up with it. I'm not gonna deal with it at all. You know, certain mindsets I'm not gonna deal with. Certain weights, body types I'm not going to deal with. So I don't really get mad when people are like, that's my preference. I do have a problem when you when you prefer one preference because of an experience you had with somebody else. I don't fuck with that, but I don't be mad when people be talking about their preference. I'd rather you be honest and get the fuck out of my face. And no, I did not stick around. I actually ended the date early. I was like, yeah, this ain't going nowhere. And I was honest right then and there. I was like, yeah, we are not each other's type, and that's okay. Like, moving on. He definitely still paid for everything. And that was the end of that, honey.
See, I loved her clip. I like that she spoke on a past like dating experience. I've not had a date like that, but I've had guys talk to me who are like that. Like, how can he say you're the first dark skinned girl I've ever gone out with? Hmm. And what did I say earlier on? This is why, when you're messaging each other, you need to know who they've dated in the past, who are their baby mums, because sometimes just the fact that you're the first can be a red flag. Like, what do you mean I'm the first dark skin? And for you to come and say it like that, it's like, it's giving you pretty for a dark skin girl. And like she said, he was obsessed with her because she was from the South. She made me laugh. Like, she was just like, this guy must think I'm stupid just because I'm from Tennessee. Like, you know what I mean? Like, do you cook? Do you clean? Or I love a Southern girl. And again, what did I say before? Miami or Florida and LA, they'd be so colorist. And this is where she was dating this guy. And like she said, even being like living in LA for a bit, job opportunities and little things like that, they're very, you know what I mean, they're very colorist over there. She kept it real. She said, you know what I mean, I have been insecure in the past, but never about a dark skin. Same with me. I've been more insecure about my weight and being skinny than being dark skinned. You know what I mean? Again, my mom, my aunties, my sisters, they've all been confident. I've got one sister who's darker than me. You know what I mean? It's things like that. And I feel like people that do bleach or do have low self esteem, it definitely comes from the family and the friends. Again, some people have grandparents or mothers who are like, oh, you too black and you need to bleach and you need to get with a light skinned guy so then your kids won't. Woo! It's a lot, but I love that she shared that. But yeah, guys, let me know your thoughts and let me know your experiences if you've experienced some sort of colorism. Um, Obviously, I've been told before by a light skinned guy that I'm pretty for a dark skinned girl, and it's just like I can't even remember my response, but I think I walked off. I was just like, because what am I supposed to say to that? That's not even a backhanded. That's a slap comment. Like, what am I supposed to say to that? You know what I mean? But yeah, let me know your experiences, and yeah, what do you think? Do you think this woman was insecure, or do you think colorism is real and that's why she popped her balloon? Please like, comment, subscribe, and share this video. Stay safe, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.